Alright, we are here in Stormworks, and I have a new Narco Sub, because apparently I build Narco Subs now. This one is a lot more realistic. The old one here, I think it was just called the Narco Sub. That one's already on the workshop. That one is pretty fun. That one's more of a submarine, though. You can go to really whatever depth, you control it, all of that fun stuff. It still has the cargo hold and all of that, but it is a lot more kind of suited for the game and the gameplay aspect of it. This new one here, this is built off of a Snorkel Sub, which is actually a very cool design. I've really gotten into checking out how they actually do a lot of their stuff and how they're all built. There's not a ton on them. There's like 2 or 3 videos and a little bit of info you can find here and there. But they're pretty cool things, especially for being built in the middle of nowhere on a very limited supplies and all of that. So I find them quite interesting. I'm not promoting the transport of narcotics or anything like that. They are very interesting mechanically from that point of view. But yeah, so we're just going to kind of check out this one, and yeah, so it's got an entrance down here. This is a cargo hatch, and then it does have one up here as well. This one can be a little bit more of a pain to get into, but you can hop in here, and this will actually get you directly inside to where you drive. You can walk around back. There's really not much to do. There is some rope. Oh my god, I cannot get in this damn submarine. There was some rope anchors. Those apparently got deleted somewhere, but we can go ahead and hop on up here. There's a handle there as well, so you can get back in. Out. So there's a little seat here. We can go ahead and close that. You can sit in the driver's seat here, and you have a pretty good view. But so we'll actually go ahead and get down first. So as you can see, it's very thin up here. So we can go ahead and grab the other padded seat here. We have a lock for this top hatch there. And then we actually just go down here, and now we're in the main submarine. We can look over here. We've got lights. Ta-da! Now we can see. So we've got a bunch of air tanks here, some pumps, all of that fun stuff. This is all on the actual submarine from what I could find. We've got a generator here, so this will produce more than enough power you need. Let's see, we've got our little ladder up. So to get back up, you just grab this, and then you can open up that or grab that seat, whatever you want. And getting back up is fine. You can just grab that handle. There's handles everywhere. But so we'll get back down here. We have a radio here. We have the battery charge here, so that's percent. So we can see it going down because we don't have anything on. We've got radio. This has 10 channels because nobody really uses the radios. So this just kind of goes through them all. And then it does have a push to talk and is receiving. We've got heat controls here, so we can turn on heaters. This is the main ship power up here, so that should shut off all the power here. Yeah, and that's going down. Here we have some floor storage. So this is where some of the cocaine would be hidden. But that's not a main place. That's just kind of a little hidden storage there. We also have the scuttle port. So if you open up this, a bunch of stuff will alarm. I need to give that power, and you'll actually start to flood. And this thing can sink in about 30 seconds, and then it will be on the ocean floor, and all the evidence will be gone. This is our ventilation port, so this is just giving us air. Same with our engines and all of that. So yeah, that's most of the stuff in here. We have a little crew cabin back here. We can actually close these curtains and get a little bit of privacy. You also can't walk through those. There is one on the other side as well. We've got a clock. These aren't actually beds, obviously, just because I don't have very much space and I can get more details in here. And those work fine. We've got some little drawers down here. We've also got some thermal gear. Back here is actually the bathroom. So we've got a fun little toilet design here, a fire extinguisher, the heater. This is actually the air valve for the engine. And then we've got some more batteries. Here's another curtain button. And then we've got some more air tanks. We've also got some C4 hidden here for all of your multiplayer shenanigans. We got some toilet paper, and we can actually go down here into the engine room as well. It's a little bit darker in here. We got a repair torch. It's pretty basic in here, but the actual designs of them are quite crude. So I think I've matched that pretty good. I definitely gave this thing more detail all around. It looks a lot nicer than it would IRL. But that's just because I wanted to gamify that a little bit and make it look not as just like a pile of crap. Which I think I did. I think it looks a little bit nicer while having that kind of rougher look. We got a bunch of pipes and stuff everywhere. This is still filling up. I hope that's air, not water. Looks like that's air, so we're good still. So that's all down here, and then we can actually go up here, and this is the storage for the cocaine. So I tried to do that with some fish finders. Yeah, we've got our little hatch here. You can lock it here. And this is just some stuff for the ballast systems. But yeah, so that's all up here. I figured out these fish finders are the weight of one block, one weight block, sorry. So that added quite a bit of weight up here and kind of messed me up a bit. Last little bit, I think I fixed that, but I had to even off the weight quite a bit. I had some fun with the doorways too. Those are all XML, so they look a little bit more curvy. Looks like I got rid of one of them here, probably just because of the curtain. And then I think I got rid of them. Yeah, I did that one too, but they were like perfectly circular, which was kind of fun. So we can go ahead and get back in the driver's seat. We can look around, see all that. Now this one does not go fully underwater, fully as in like the snorkel as well. So the snorkel will always be above water. Yeah, so we can go ahead and turn on the engine here. We'll go ahead and get that volume all the way up because I think I have your guys' way down. I don't want to be deaf, so I'm going to keep it there. This one is a little bit more, I kind of modernized it a little bit. I put a nicer screen with some more info. We also have our ballast controls here and a map. So a little bit more than you would have in an actual Narco Sub. They're pretty basic, but you don't have an autopilot or anything like that. We do have the viewing scope here, which is a new part that they added. However, I'm not a big fan of it, just because whenever you're underwater, you can glitch through it. And I'll show you later, but it basically just looks like you're above the water still, but under it. So you're not really getting that look like you're underwater. It looks great at nighttime. I love it there. We've got infrared here. So I absolutely love it at night. That looks really cool. So we can go ahead and turn that back. Yeah. What do we have here? Front spotlight. So that's not all like entirely useful. That's more decoration. We've got our throttle, which is W and S. That's just increments, and then our depth. So we actually have to choose our depth in this. So we have 4 modes, I believe. Yeah, 4 modes. And then the last one, 4, will get you the deepest you can possibly get. The ballasts are pretty good right off the bat, so you don't have to change those really, but if you want to, you just select which ballast you want, the front or the rear, and then you choose empty or fill. And then they will fill. They're quick enough, so they don't take a ton of time. Like it might take a minute or 2 to fill up all the way. Yeah. And then you've got the little bar here showing how full they actually are. But they're good enough off of spawn where you should be fine. If you really want to be all the way out of the water all the time, you can empty them both. They empty quite quick. The front one is a lot bigger, I believe, than the back one. As you can see, the back one is draining quite quick. So you do want to be careful of that. We've got percentages, and then we've actually got the level, so you can even them off quite nicely if you want. The map, pretty generic. You've got zoom out, zoom in, and then you've got an arrow showing your location. We've also got our speed, depth below hull, and fuel percent. So we've got 96% of our fuel left. So we'll go ahead and actually drive this now. So you can do W and S. If you hold it, it doesn't do anything. It just takes you to 0.25. So it goes in increments of 0.25. We can go ahead and steer with A and D. It is quite quick to steer whenever you are above water, I think in the first 2 modes. And then it is quick enough, I think it goes almost 40 knots. And then you don't have to worry about overheating or anything like that. It's got radiators, a little bit of a smaller engine on this, so it did take some radiators to keep cool. And then it does like to go underwater a little bit sometimes, so I might just add some trim or something like that, but then it always comes back up whenever you're in your first mode. So we can go ahead and choose mode 2. We're in full throttle, as you can see. And mode 2 will get you here, so you can still see a little bit out of your window while above, and you can still see, oh, let's get that off infrared, and you can still see above, so I like this view, being able to see that. We can go to mode 3. That will get half of your snorkel under the water as well, like that. So you can still see nicely out of this if you want. However, it is a little bit weird. It gets that shadowing because my head is close enough to the edge of the water. It looks kind of weird. So there's a bunch of weird stuff like that. What the hell? There was a bird I almost ran over. And then 4 is all the way down. And this sometimes gets the snorkel a little bit underwater for a little bit, and then it comes right back up. But you have enough air in here to not really care. And then it does stay quite low like that. And you can still steer and all of that fun stuff. And you're still always over the water. So it's quite simple. We go pretty quick underwater, 36 knots. So I'm more than happy with that. Now here's what it does underwater. You can see all of like the water and the aerodynamics kind of the actual block and what it's doing around it, which I don't love. And you can see clearly underwater, which I absolutely hate. I wish it was like a normal camera. So I really hope that gets fixed. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. So I debated for a while if I actually want to do this, but I do because it's new. I tried adding it to the very top too. It just was a little bit more distracting, having the water come up and down on it the entire time. But yeah, so that's where I kind of landed on that. So we can go ahead and come back up. Come up nice and quick. And the steering slows down quite a lot whenever you're above 2. And then we're 17 knots above. And we still have all of our increments of throttle that we can play with, and 0. So yeah, so that's about it. Pretty fun build, pretty quick build, which is nice. I've been liking the smaller builds lately. They can be pretty rewarding too, because you can get them done right away and they can look good and all that. So let's go ahead and actually do the scuttle. We also have the air intake here, so we can actually close all the air coming into the entire submarine from there. And we can go ahead and press scuttle. This light will be red, but it doesn't have power right now. We can also turn on the generator, and this gets our power right back up. So that is good. So we have a fuel or water level here, so it might not visually look like it's rising, but it is. We've got a bunch of doors that open up all around. I think it takes about 30 seconds to go under, so it's quite good. That siren will turn off whenever you fill up with enough water, but yeah, so we'll just sit here and watch it sink. So, as you can hear, the siren has turned off, which means we have enough water where we are officially sinking now. So it's quite quick, it's maybe a minute. I don't have a timer, but I'll probably put one up on the screen of how long it actually took, because I cannot guess time. But we are now underwater. It will obviously sink faster also if you open up this top hatch. It's just basic stuff that everybody was complaining about at the start of the pressure update. All very simple stuff, and I can get this thing to sink no problem. I can get it to sink a whole lot faster, but I am very happy with these results. I like it taking a little bit of time. I like having it realistic. You're not going to sink this thing in 6 seconds without using explosives or anything like that IRL, so no need. So I'm happy with that. And then as you can see, we're coming all the way up here. If you close this, the pressure will build up here because all of the vents and stuff are at the very bottom. But yeah, so I hate this. I'm not a fan of that at all. But yeah, so that's this submarine. Pretty basic overall, but I think it turned out pretty well. I like the look. I think it'll be fun to play around with. And I think it goes with the other Narco Sub pretty well. So thanks for watching. We'll end it there.